Students, now I am going to discuss what are the requirements of good lubricant. Okay, in the last class we have discussed why lubrication is done, what were the objectives of lubrication and types of lubrication also. Here we are going to discuss what are the requirement of a good lubricant. That is, this question is also very important from the point of view of examination. So, what are the requirement of a good lubricant? First of all, it should produce thin film between two parts. Okay, first of all, requirement of a good lubricant, it should produce thin film between the two parts, so direct metal to metal contact can be avoided. That is, it should not produce, see, when the temperature is very high in the engine, so after burning these lubricants, it will produce carbon residue. It should not produce carbon residues. If the carbon residue is produced, then that will affect and lubrication is not okay. It should produce thin film between the two parts. It should not produce carbon residue. Okay. It should have less oxidation nature. It should not react with the oxygen, so that main lubrication purpose cannot be fulfilled. Okay. Next, what are the another requirement? First, it should produce the thin film between the two parts. It should not produce carbon residue. It should have less oxidation nature. Then, it should be free from sulfur. It should be free from sulfur. Okay. If sulfur is contained there, then it will affect our lubrication purpose. So, it should be free from sulfur also. Okay. It should cleanse the dirt. Okay. Next point, it should be dust free. It should be dust free. If it is not lubricant are not of good quality, then lubrication purpose will not be served and metal to metal contact cannot be avoided. Okay, so it should be dust free, it should cleanse the dirt, it should free from the sulfur, it should have less oxidation nature, then it should be economical. It should be economical also. That means another economical means cheap. Okay, and its consumption rate should be low. Okay, so requirement of a good lubricants are, it should produce thin film between the two parts. It should not produce carbon residue, because if we use these lubricants at 2000-2500 degrees, then all the lubricants will burn and it will produce carbon residue, which will affect our lubrication process. It should have less oxidation nature. It should not react with the oxygen. It should be free from sulfur. It should cleanse the dirt. Okay. It should be dust free. Another, it should be economical. Okay. So, economical means it should be cheap. It should not be very cost, and its consumption rate should be also low. It should not be very high. Okay. So these are the requirement of a good lubricants. What are they? So suppose in examination question comes, what are the requirement of a good lubricant? So we have to give these points and elaborate each and every points also. So first of all, it should produce the thin film between the two parts. It should not produce carbon residue. It should have less oxidation oxidation nature. It should be free from dust. It should be free from sulfur. Okay. It should be dust free also. Then it should be economical. Okay, that it should be economical. It should not be very costly. If it is very costly, then purpose of this cannot be served. Its consumption rate should be low. Also, we can add some points. It should not produce vibration. So you should not use that material which produces more vibrations. Okay, and it should cleanse, as I have already told you. So it should not produce vibrations. Another point, see, so it should produce the thin film, should not produce carbon residue. It should have less oxidation nature. It should be free from sulfur. It should cleanse the dirt. It should be dust free. It should be economical, cheap also. And consumption rate should not be very high actually. Okay, it should not produce vibration. Okay, so that, and this last point, it should improve the life by reducing tear and wear. Okay, so these are the requirement of a good lubricant. Okay, so whenever in examination question comes, you have to explain, you have to write these 10 points, and you have to elaborate each and every point, okay, by giving the justification of these points, so that requirement of the good lubricant are justified. Okay, rest of the thing I will discuss in next class. Thank you.